Hi, welcome back to another reading vlog. I'm Jordan and this is Books with Brushu. I like to drink coffee and read books and I hope y'all are having a great day. So today is the start of another reading vlog, of another seasonal reading vlog. And this one's Christmas themed. So I've got a couple of Christmas books that I have been really excited to read and to get to. In the past, I have sort of liked the Christmas books that I've read, but I haven't loved them. And the problem for me is I find that some Christmas books tend to be Groundhog Day, where something happens and they live the same day over and over again to try to make themselves a better person or whatever. And I can't stand those kinds of books. They're boring. They're so boring to me. I've tried to pick ones that are not like that are more romance-based, just, you know, during Christmas time. Let's go over the books that I am hoping to get to in this vlog. So I've got 3 physical books and 3 audiobooks that I'm hoping to get to in this reading vlog, but we'll see, because 6 books is a lot. So let's start off with our physical books. So if you watched my December spinner wheel TBR video, I'll link it down below in the description just in case you haven't. One of the spins was a book club book. And I am in 2 different book clubs on Fable, and they just so happen to both pick Good Spirits. So we did in fact get Good Spirits onto the TBR just like I was hoping to. Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. I've been really looking forward to reading this book this season. I've heard nothing but good reviews about it. Everyone so far that I have seen read this, they've loved it. So this is about the ghost of Christmas past, and he is the ghost of Christmas past, and he has come into, what's her name? Nolan and Harriet. So Nolan, the ghost, has come into Harriet's life to show her past actions, past things that she did to try to improve herself, or just to, you know, to try to make her a better person. So he's haunting her, they fall in love. We'll see what happens. I'm super excited to read this book. I cannot wait. I've been dying to read this book. I have loved all of B.K. Borison's books. I have read every single book that she has written and I've loved them all. So really excited to start reading this one. And this is the first book that I will be picking up in this reading vlog. Then I have The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score. So I read the first book in this series a couple months ago and it was okay. Honestly, I got bored and I DNF'd it halfway through, but the first half of it, I was enjoying it for the most part. I didn't like the main female character in that book, and so she was bugging me, and so I just decided to stop reading it because I was bored with it. But this book, the main female character is the sister of the brother in the first book. So brother, sister is the main female character in this book, and so I'm hoping that this one is a little bit better. This brother and sister duo, they have a TV show on HGTV that's like Fixer Upper or Extreme Makeover Home Edition. Remember that one with Ty? Yeah. So basically that's their show, is Extreme Makeover Home Edition. And they go to these towns where this family, their house is really run down, but you know, they do really good things for the community, or one of their children is really sick, or you know, whatever, and they fix up their house. So that's who this brother and sister duo are. And this, I'm not sure if the whole crew goes to this small town or if only she does, and they fix something after like a snowstorm, a disaster. A late season hurricane turns Mary, Connecticut into a disaster. We'll see how this one goes. Hopefully I like it better than the first one, but we'll see. The last book is Winter Street by Elin Hilderbrand. Now this book is on my TBR. I was able to get it on the TBR, so I'm happy about that. And this is the first book in her winter series. I've only read one book by Elin Hilderbrand and it was okay. I mostly enjoyed it. Not my favorite, but still a decent read. So I'm hoping that this series is a little bit better. So we'll see. I'm not really sure what it's about. All of her books are based in the New England area. Nantucket. Kelly Quinn is the owner of Nantucket's Winter Street Inn and proud father of 4 children. Patrick, a hedge fund manager, Kevin, a bartender, Ava, a school teacher, and Bart, the only child of Kelly's second marriage, who has recently shocked everyone by joining the Marines. As Christmas approaches, Kelly is looking forward to spending some quality time with his family at the inn. But when he walks in on his wife Mitzi kissing Santa Claus, or the man who plays Santa in the annual Christmas party, utter chaos descends. With his 3 older children reeling in their own dramas and Bart unreachable in Afghanistan, it might be up to Kelly's ex-wife, the nightly news anchor Margaret Quinn, to save Christmas. So we'll see how this one goes. Those are the 3 physical books. Before we get into the audiobooks, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more seasonal reading vlogs. So the 3 audiobooks that I am going to read, or attempt to read, I should say, are The Christmas Tree Farm by Lori Gilmore. And this is the 3rd book in the Dream Harbor series. And I am really enjoying this series so far. So I've read the first 2 books this fall, loved them, cute, cozy, holiday-themed romances. And this 3rd book seems to be the same, with a grumpy, standoffish Christmas tree farm owner who we don't know a whole lot about, and a man who lives in California but is there in Dream Harbor visiting his sister. His sister is Jeannie, who is the main female character in the first book. We will be introduced to Kira and Bennett and see how their cute, cozy, Christmas-themed romance will evolve. Then we've got The Book Club Hotel by Sarah Morgan. And this one, let me just read the synopsis. With its historic charm and picture-perfect library, the Maple Sugar Inn is considered the ultimate vacation destination. But widowed far too young, I have been bricking my phone so that I'm on it less, and it just bricked me out of Libby. So please hold. So this is the brick. And basically you download the app on your phone and you choose apps that you want to basically be shut off, or you can't get on them. And you can make a schedule with it. And so that's what I've done. So that it just turned to the top of the hour. So that's why I all of a sudden got kicked out of an app. But you tap your phone on this and it bricks all your apps that you've chosen. So you can't access them unless you get up and physically tap your phone against this to unbrick it. And y'all, it has been amazing. It has been amazing. I have spent so much less time on my phone. So much less time. And I've also been really busy at work, so that helps too. But anyway, let's continue to read about that darn book. Let's just start over. So, Book Club Hotel. As the holidays approach, the inn is fully booked with guests looking for their dream vacation. But widowed far too young and exhausted from juggling the hotel with being a dedicated single mom, Hattie Coleman dreams only of making it through the festive season. But when Erica, Claudia, and Anna, lifelong friends who seem to have it all, check in for a girlfriend's book club holiday, it changes everything. Their close friendship and shared love of books has carried them through life's ups and downs. But Hattie can see they're also packing some major emotional baggage, and nothing prepares her for how deeply her own story is about to become entwined with theirs. And then we've got A Cross-Country Christmas by Courtney Walsh. And this is the first book in the Road Trip Romance series. It is about Lori Richmond isn't a fan of Christmas, which is why she rarely makes the trip home to the Midwest for the holidays. After all, she has plenty to keep her busy, namely her duties as a set director on a TV sitcom. But this December, Lauren's brother and his wife are expecting a baby, so her brother arranges a ride home for her with his good friend Will. Ooh. Unfortunately for Lauren, she's been trying to forget college basketball coach and childhood crush Will Sinclair. Childhood crush, okay. For more than 10 years. Now, thanks to her fear of flying, she's stuck in a car with him from California to Illinois. That's quite a trek. She's circumspect and organized. He's flirty and spontaneous. She's convinced that people don't change. He's trying to prove her and himself that he has. On this cross-country road trip, they'll both discover that history doesn't exactly repeat itself, but like any good Christmas carol, it does have a second verse. That sounds real good. That sounds real good. I am so excited about these books, y'all. Can't wait to get into some reading. Okay, so as you can see, my Christmas tree is already up. I need to decorate more for Christmas. I still have more lights to put up outside, so some perfect time to get in some audiobook reading. And I'm also gonna get started on Good Spirits. Cannot wait, cannot wait. And then as soon as I do my nails, all Christmassy, I'll show you guys that too. And probably maybe some Christmas baking. Maybe some Christmas baking. We'll have to see. I just made some banana sourdough muffins this morning. So I don't necessarily need to bake anything, but when has that ever stopped me before? All right, so I will check back in with you when I get into Good Spirits. Reading update. So, Good Spirits. I am 110 pages in so far. We are introduced to Harriet and Nolan. Nolan is the ghost of Christmas past, and he has come to haunt Harriet. Typically, the people that he haunts are very bad people. They do bad things, and he tries to show them, or he does show them the bad things that they have done. They travel in the past, just like, what is that movie? Whatever that movie is. I hated it. Anyway, shows them past memories of the bad things that they have done. And he says that normally the people who he is assigned to don't actually repent or realize that they've done wrong until they get to the third ghost. So he's the first one, and then you have present, and then you have future. So normally the people don't come around until they get to future ghost and see how miserable their life is actually going to be in the future. Him and Harriet have gone on a couple of different trips down memory lane, and they're both confused on why he has been assigned to Harriet, because the memories that they're seeing aren't bad ones. She hasn't done anything wrong. She doesn't seem like a terrible person. So they're trying to figure out why exactly he's been assigned to her. You can tell they're attracted to each other. And Nolan, as a ghost, other people don't really see him. He walks amongst normal people, but they don't really see him. So the only people who he can like physically touch and who remember him are the people that he haunts. It has been hundreds of years and he has been without any kind of physical affection or any friendships or anything like that. And so he has kind of found Harriet to be that person. And he's trying to kind of stay away from her because he doesn't want to give in to these physical attractions because she has been assigned to him. Well, you know how well that is working out. But also, Nolan is still grappling with not wanting to be a ghost. He wants to move on. He is miserable and he doesn't know why he has been put in this position. So Harriet, being the nice, helpful person that she is, says, hey, maybe I was assigned to you so that I could actually help you and so that you can move on. Well, then he got mad at her because she was like dangling the carrot in front of him because it's the thing that he has always been dreaming about, to like move on and not be in this miserable afterlife anymore. And so he got pissed at her because he's like, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know anything about ghosts. You don't know what my life is like. You don't know what it means to, you don't know what I have to do to move on. Like, why do you think that you're here to help me? Like, he was kind of mean to her. So that's where I left off last night when I finished reading. So 110 pages in, I've got about 250 pages left in the book, and I'm really liking it so far. I really enjoy B.K. Borison's writing, and this is no exception. I am still really, really loving it. And I want to show you guys my bookmark. So I just got this new bookmark from Cooper Calligraphy. Let me get out of the frame because I don't have an extra hand. From Cooper Calligraphy, and it's like an old school Christmas bookmark. So I was really excited to get this in the mail. And I will link their Etsy store down below. Christmas Tree Farm by Lori Gilmore. I am quite a ways through this book. I only have 45 minutes left in this audiobook, so I am almost done. I'm 90% of the way through it. And I got most of that listened to while I was decorating the tree and while I've been driving back and forth to work. Christmas Tree Farm, we are introduced to Kira, who is the owner of the Christmas Tree Farm, and Bennett, who is Jeannie's brother. Jeannie is the main female character from book 1, Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Bennett is in town for a month for the holiday season, and he is staying in Jeannie's apartment above the cafe. And Kira has recently purchased this Christmas tree farm. She didn't know she was purchasing a Christmas tree farm. She bought the place sight unseen. She didn't know that the house was in disrepair and that a bunch of things were falling apart and didn't work and that it had been vacant for 3 years. She didn't know that when she bought it. She grew up in Georgia with a very rich family with household staff who did everything for her, and so she feels like she has been a spoiled little rich kid her whole life and hasn't treated people nicely. She's a twin, so her sister Claire ended up getting married and moving away, and so now it's left her alone, and she's never been alone in her life. And so she got this bright idea that she was gonna leave and go homestead on this farm in New England where it snows, and it is way colder than Georgia, as I can attest to because I've lived in both places. And Kira's not happy about this. She feels like she's been a mean person her whole life, and she doesn't want the people of Dream Harbor to bother her or come by and visit. And so she's very grouchy and grumpy. And she originally was not going to open the Christmas tree farm. She wanted nothing to do with it. However, she has since realized that she spent all of her inheritance on the actual farm, so she doesn't have any money now. And so she has since realized that she needs to open the farm and sell Christmas trees so that she can have money to then fix some things up, like the heat in her house. There are also some rumors about this property, and that the previous owner may have killed his wife because she just mysteriously disappeared or mysteriously died or something. Bennett has been sent by the townspeople to befriend Kira and also snoop to try to find a dead body or buried treasure or something, because, you know, the town has made up some extravagant story about something buried on this property. Bennett goes over there under the guise of investigating or, you know, seeing if there's anything suspicious. But really, he is attracted to Kira. And things go from there. Their relationship develops, but they pretend that it's only a fling. It's only a holiday fling because he doesn't live here and he can't move here. And, you know, things from their past are creeping up and they don't want to fall into old habits. So they're trying to, you know, form new habits and not be who they used to be. And that means not moving across the country to be with somebody or not asking somebody to be there for them because they just don't want to be lonely, those kinds of things. I'm obviously at the very, very end of the book. Bennett has gone back home. And so we're going to see how they get back together or end up together, whatever it might be. I am obviously enjoying this series as I've read the first 3 books in the last like 3 or 4 months. I like that in the subsequent books, we still hear about the previous couples and we still get little tidbits of them furthering their relationship along. In this book, we do hear about Jeannie and Logan and Hazel and Noah and their relationships progressing. So I like that we have that aspect as well, that we get more of the characters that we've already met. And we also see people who are gonna be the main characters in the other books in the series. So really enjoying these cute, cozy, seasonal romances. And I will check back in once I'm finished with The Christmas Tree Farm and further along in Good Spirits. Okay, time for a reading update. I got my other tree up, my Barbie tree. I got that one up. And while I was putting that tree up, I was finished listening to The Christmas Tree Farm. And like I said in the last clip, I only had like 45 minutes left. So I finished it rather quickly. And oh my gosh, it's, I'm so cold. It's been rainy and dreary and overcast, like no sun for, I don't know, the last 3 days, the last 4 days. I'm just cold. Like, it's objectively not cold in my house. It's really not. I just am chilled. I live in Georgia, okay? I'm not used to the cold. It's literally been foggy outside all day today. Like, I woke up this morning and it was so foggy. I'll insert a picture of my backyard this morning. It was so foggy and it's been foggy all day. It hasn't ever dissipated. So I finished The Christmas Tree Farm and it was super cute. Obviously, Kira and Bennett ended up back together and they came to terms with their own personal issues or things that they wanted to change about themselves and decided that they were willing to, you know, work on their relationship together, and it was super cute. So I enjoyed the last bit of that book. I again think this book wrapped up a little bit better than the first one. but I overall still really enjoyed it. I ended up giving The Christmas Tree Farm 4.25 stars. So the same rating that I gave the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. I really enjoy this series and I enjoy the author's writing. So definitely loving it. Now, Good Spirits. I am on page 300. So I'm really close to the end. Guys, this is so cute. I will say, there are some things that Nolan has done, like a couple, like at least 3 times, that I don't love. And Harriet, like he realizes that he's like been mean or said some not nice things or whatever. And he apologizes to Harriet, and then, you know, everything's fine. You know, it just kind of throws me off of him a little bit. But other than that, I'm enjoying the book. We are getting to the end where things are kind of starting to wrap up a little bit. I am wondering how they're gonna make this work. I'm really wondering how they're gonna make this work, because Nolan is still a ghost. Harriet is still an alive human. I just am curious. I'm really curious to see how it's gonna end. The last 200 pages have been them traveling to the past to see, you know, events in Harriet's life. And some things have gone wrong along the way. Their physical relationship has started to develop more. Harriet's working through a lot of her insecurities, and Nolan is actually being pretty sweet about it. Even though sometimes I don't always love the way he is, but he's being pretty sweet about a lot of it and understanding, and is really supporting her and, you know, wanting her to think for herself and do the things that she wants to do, and not only considering other people's opinions and other people's feelings and totally neglecting her own. He's trying to encourage her to also think of herself. It's a lot of them, they're developing relationship and trying to figure out why exactly he's haunting Harriet, and if she is actually meant to help him move on. And then also them dealing with, they have feelings for each other, they want to be together, but also Nolan might still want to move on. Maybe he doesn't, but you know, Harriet's still trying to help him, and you know, we're trying to figure all that stuff out. I'm really enjoying this book. Cannot wait to see how this book ends. I'm really loving it so far. Yeah, I finished The Christmas Tree Farm, but I also started another audiobook. Duh. I started another audiobook because obviously I finished Christmas Tree Farm quickly. I started the Book Club Hotel by Sarah Morgan. I'm now 26% of the way through. We're introduced to 4 female characters. We have, names. We are first introduced to Hattie, who is the owner of the Maple Sugar Inn. She has recently lost her husband, and so she is raising her young daughter alone and also running the inn. We are introduced to her and her struggles dealing with the loss of her husband, and also trying to deal with running an entire inn and managing all of the people who work there. So we have her point of view. And then we also have 3 best friends, Anna, Erica, and Claudia. So we get all 4 women's point of views. Erica, she is a single career woman who has worked her whole life to get where she is. Then we're introduced to Claudia, who moved to California with a man, found out the guy was cheating on her, and is now dealing with that, and you know, now having to pay all the bills herself, and her dealing with stuff at her job. And then also Anna, who is married and has 2 children. Their lives are all very different. However, they are best friends in college, and so they're trying to continue this relationship and continue this friendship, even though they don't get to see each other very much, and they all have very, very different lives. All 3 of them packed up and are going to stay at the Maple Sugar Inn for a week for their book club. So they've picked a book to read, and they're all traveling to the inn to then spend a week, just a girls' week, reading their book, enjoying this inn. That's really all, that's all that we've been introduced to so far. We're getting to know the women. They are still traveling to the inn. They haven't arrived at the inn yet. 26% of the way in, and I'm on Hattie's point of view again. So we started with Hattie, and then it was Erica, and then Claudia, and then Anna, and now we're back to Hattie. So I've barely kind of gotten to know everybody and, you know, learning their situation and where they're at. So I'm enjoying it so far. There might be a budding romance, maybe a couple. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. I will let you know my thoughts as soon as I get further into the book. Guys, I finished Good Spirits. I was bawling my eyes out like the last 60 pages of this book. Yep, because as you can imagine, they pretend that there's not a deadline on their relationship because, you know, Nolan is the ghost of Christmas past and he has a deadline that he has to meet. And if he doesn't meet the deadline, then there are consequences. As you can imagine, they're going along, pretending there's no deadline, and then he leaves. And then he gets pulled away. And at that point, I just didn't, it was sad. It was so sad. I was crying. But y'all, this book is so good. This book is so good. I don't want to give too much away. I want you to be surprised. B.K. Borison has done it again. Highly recommend. We'll definitely be reading the next book in this series, which is set to come out, I think in October of next year or September, something like that. And it's called Grim something, and I think it's about the Grim Reaper that's mentioned very briefly in this book. Oh, I think it's called Grim Tidings, and it's about the Grim Reaper that's in this book. I gave Good Spirits 4.5 stars. This is the highest I've ever rated a B.K. Borison book. I typically don't rate romance books higher than a 4 or 4.25, around that range. This one really got me. I really loved it. I really loved it. Highly recommend. So then I went ahead and started Winter Street by Elin Hilderbrand. And I am 73 pages into it. It's a really fast read, really easy read. It's about this family. Mother and father have 3 kids, get divorced. Father remarries and has another kid. This is just about their lives during Christmas time and the basic everyday struggles with relationships, with breakups, with dealing with emotions, dealing with work stress. So Kelly is the father and he owns an inn. 2 of the 4 kids live at the inn. One is off living in New York. He has a really high paying job in the stock market or something. And then the other one is in the Marines and is in Afghanistan. So as it says in the back of the book, the very beginning, Kelly finds his wife cheating on him with Santa Claus. The same Santa Claus that they've hired for the last however many years to travel to their inn to be Santa for their yearly Christmas party. Then we get chapters in everyone's point of view. So we get chapters in Kelly's point of view, Margaret, who is the ex-wife, not the one who cheated, the previous ex-wife, and then the 3 kids. And it goes back and forth between all their points of view and, you know, the different things that are happening in their lives. So I'm obviously only 70 pages in, so not a whole lot has happened other than we've been introduced to their characters and introduced to their main upfront struggles. This book is really easy read, really fast read. I mean, it's fine so far. I do enjoy this author's writing. I think that since these are like literary fiction, I think I just don't always love literary fiction. I think it just kind of bores me a little bit. And I usually give these books around a 3-star. It kind of depends. So, but then again, Remarkably Bright Creatures is a literary fiction and I gave that book 6 stars. Who's to say? That's why I'm enjoying this book so far. So I'm going to keep trudging along, seeing if I continue to like it. And if I get too bored, then I'll stop reading it. But at this point, I'm not there yet. I'm still liking it. I'm intrigued to, you know, find out what happens in their lives. Now, this is, I think, a 4-book series. So we'll see how I feel at the end of it, if I'm going to continue on with the series or not. But plugging along, enjoying this one. Now, the Book Club Hotel, I am not very much further on that, so I really don't have an update for you because not a whole lot additional has happened. We're still just going through the characters' almost day-to-day lives. Like the three friends, they're still traveling to the inn. Like they haven't even arrived at the inn yet. So haven't gotten much further on that, so there's really no update. But I will check back in with you once I am a little bit further into these books. All right, y'all, we are back for another update. I actually just finished up recording my January spinner wheel TBR video, so please subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss out on that video next week. I've got some really good and exciting books on there, so I'm super excited about that TBR. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the books that I'm reading for this Christmas reading vlog. I did put some decorations up in here. It's kind of hard to see these fake candles because it's light out. They're on. I've got a little bit of Christmas ambiance going on behind me. Winter Street by Elin Hilderbrand. I am 120 pages into this book, so I'm literally halfway through, and I'm really hoping to finish this book today. I have barely had any time for reading this week. I mean, barely. Any books that I've been reading have been audiobooks or Kindle books. I haven't gone through any of this week, so it's been a long week, y'all. So I'm hoping to finish this book today, like literally today. As soon as I'm done filming this, I'm gonna go sit down and read. So far, we're still walking through all of the characters' lives and what's going on. We're dealing with Kelly and his wife leaving him. The Santa that she cheated on her husband with, George, he's actually come back to the inn to have a conversation with Kelly man to man, which actually is very nice. So he kind of explained the situation and what was going on, and obviously it's still not right. They still cheated, but it was a very decent thing for George to do, to show up and talk to him. And then their holiday party, their yearly Christmas party, still on. So we've got, is her name Ava? Ava is the only child around, and she's trying to get ready for this annual Christmas party with very little help. The housekeeper maid, Isabel, is also there and helping her. So that's good. But we are right up to the point on Christmas Eve where this party is about to take place. Hurriedly setting up to get this party going. You've got her brother, who is the bartender at the bar, Kevin. He just showed up at the inn with all of the alcohol and the liquor, and he's starting to set up the bar area, so at least he's got that covered. But Ava is very nervous about this Christmas party because she is one of the only ones, you know, setting it up, and she doesn't want it to be a failure or people to talk about how it's not as good as it has been in the previous years. So that's where we're at. Not a whole lot going on. This book literally takes place over 3 days. It's literally like moment by moment what's going on in these different days. So we're gonna see how the mom, Margaret, the ex-wife, plays into this, because as of right now, she's still scheduled to fly to Hawaii with her doctor friends with benefits to have Christmas in Hawaii. So not sure how she's gonna play a role in all of this quite yet, but excited to see what happens in the second half of this book. So I actually, just today, a little while ago, finished the Book Club Hotel, and my battery's about to die, so BRB. Okay, after we were so rudely interrupted by my battery dying, I was just about to start talking about the Book Club Hotel that I finished today. I think the last time I talked to you that not much had happened, not much was going on. We were getting introduced to the characters and they still hadn't reached the inn yet. And I was at like maybe 30 or 40%, something like that. Anna, Claudia, and Erica made it to the inn. Right when they arrived, Erica was acting pretty strange, and Claudia and Anna realized that they weren't necessarily there just for their book club, that Erica hadn't randomly picked this place out of nowhere. Erica was acting really weird when she picked up a photograph of Hattie, who is the inn owner, and the photograph with Hattie and her father in it. Anna and Claudia, once they got Erica up to her room, we're asking her like what's going on, blah, blah, blah. This part of the book was kind of predictable. There were definitely things that were predictable about this book, that's for sure, but I still enjoyed it. So then we're going through and the girls are getting to know Hattie better and her daughter Delphi. There's some problems that are going on at the hotel, some staffing issues that Hattie has to deal with, and she's also having a bit of guilt because of her dead husband, and her dead husband chose these people to specifically work at the hotel. She's also starting to have romantic feelings for a man in the town who owns, or his father owns, a Christmas tree farm. So she's going through a lot of turmoil herself while trying to raise a young daughter on her own and run the hotel on her own. So the three girls step in and start helping Hattie. Their relationships develop, their personal lives grow. All four of the women have personal problems in their lives, and like the one woman would think, oh, you know, I have all these different problems in my life, blah, blah, blah. And then the other women are like, oh, your life is so perfect. Your life is so wonderful. You're so put together. When in reality, they weren't. It's just, you know, what other people perceive as perfection or the best life is, to you, it's not. There are, you know, you still have your issues. Things are still going wrong. So it's all about perspective. So there was a lot of that. It's all about the perspective, and if you're only thinking about something in one way, to try to change your perspective to maybe see it in a happier, better light. So at the end of the day, I really enjoyed this book. It was cute. It was found family, learning about yourself, learning how to problem solve on your own, and learning that, hi Pascal, and learning that just because you think someone else's life is perfect doesn't mean that it actually is. That telling somebody that their life is perfect isn't really always helpful to them either. However, I enjoyed this book. I loved the audiobook. I think it's a really cute, Christmassy read. Definitely fits the seasonal holiday vibes. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So I ended up giving the Book Club Hotel 4 stars. So I do also want to show y'all my sweatshirt. So I think I've worn it in a couple of clips and I have just forgotten to mention it. So it's this cute trees and the bear pulling a sled, and it says, on my way to the bookstore. Super cute. This is from Book Babe Designs, I think is the name of her shop, and I will link it down below. She always does super cute seasonal releases. For Halloween, I bought a sweatshirt and a t-shirt from her and really, really love them. Super cute, comfy. For my Halloween sweatshirt, I got the one with the Witches Book Club on it. I'm sure I wore it in my Halloween reading vlog. But I bought a size medium, and it fit, but it was just a little bit smaller than I wanted it to be. So I decided to go with the large, and I like it so much better. It's definitely oversized, definitely cozy. And I love this print so much with the Christmas trees and the snow and everything. So super cute, definitely festive and cozy. I am reading Winter Street still, so I'm hoping to finish that today. And then my next audiobook that I'm going to start is the Cross Country Christmas. And I don't remember who that author is, and I don't have my phone in here with me right now. Cross Country Christmas audiobook. I will be starting that next. I will hope to check back in later tonight once I have finished Winter Street, because I don't have very much of it left. Okay guys, I'm back for an update. My hair's a little crazy. I washed it and dried it today, so it's a lot. Anyway, I did in fact finish Winter Street last night. This is a very quick read, a story just about an everyday family going through some problems at Christmas. We do kind of have an ending, but there are definitely unanswered questions. There are unanswered questions in pretty much everyone's lives that we're introduced in this book. We've got some new relationships, some old relationships, family drama, arguing, being brought together during the holidays, all of those feels. I enjoyed the book. I enjoyed this author's writing. She sometimes, at least for this book, and this is not true for the other book of hers that I read, I think it's just the characters, but some of the characters were a little bit pretentious, and so her writing kind of conveyed that, but I think that has mostly to do with the characters and her wanting to be authentic to the characters. So overall, I enjoyed this book. It was a good seasonal, wintry Christmas read. Very fast read. It's short, but it also reads really quick. I ended up giving Winter Street 3.25 stars. So still good, still above average, enjoyed it, good Christmassy book. So this is the first book in a 4-book series, and I will not be continuing this series. I just don't care enough about the characters. I went on Goodreads and read the synopses of the other 3 books, so I pretty much know what happens with all of the characters, so I'm good. There are so many other Christmassy romances, Christmassy books out there that I'm good with just this one. I'm not sure if I am going to read any more Elin Hilderbrand books necessarily, because the 2 that I've read they've been good, but towards the lower end of good. They haven't been amazing. They haven't like knocked my socks off. So we'll see. Maybe there are some more out there that are more popular of hers that are a little bit better. I'm just not sure. We'll see. But it wasn't bad. And the author's writing is really good. I just don't think that these books were not written for me. These books were not written for me. They're very well written, very good. They just aren't for me. Anyway, so next I'm going to jump into The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score. So we'll see how this one goes. I DNF'd the first one in this series halfway through. So we'll see if I like the characters in this book more than I did in the last one. It's over 300 pages. It's 370 pages. So we'll see how much I like this. I've heard mixed reviews about it on BookTube. Most haven't been super great. We're just gonna see how it goes. So I did start A Cross Country Christmas by Courtney Walsh. I started it this morning. I was listening to it on my way to the gym and listening to it while I was cleaning my car, because today was unusually warm outside. It was in the 60s. So I took that opportunity to wash my car because it's dirty, because it hasn't been washed in a while, because it's been so cold outside. I took that opportunity to wash my car. So I listened to this book while doing both of those things, and now I'm almost halfway through. It's not a super long book. I'm halfway through already, or 40%, something like that. We're introduced to our main female character, Lauren, and she is this very busy set director. She's responsible for the set of a sitcom. She's the assistant to the person who's responsible for the sets. So she's very busy, and her boss finally convinced her to take a break and to go home for Christmas. Her brother has also been bothering her to go home for Christmas because she has missed the last several Christmases, and he also has his first baby due and wants his sister there. Well, the reason she doesn't want to come home for Christmas is because her family has a lot of drama, divorce, parents don't agree on a lot of stuff. They argue all the time. They put their kids in the middle of it, and it hasn't been a happy home environment in a long time. So she hasn't gone home for Christmas for the last couple of years. Well, her brother kind of tricks her into going on this road trip with his best friend, Will. And being the brother's best friend, of course, she had a crush on him growing up. He was the older boy who was always around the house, and she had a crush on him. Well, something happened, whether in high school or college or something, and she is still really mad at him, like still really, really mad at him. We don't know why yet, but she's on this road trip, doesn't realize all of the specifications that are going into this road trip, and she's pissed because she doesn't want to be around him as is. They have started this road trip. I think they're on day like 2 or something, and she's slowly starting to warm up to him and seeing his new character, because of course he used to be the playboy, you couldn't trust him, he was a womanizer, blah, blah, blah. Well, now he's grown up and has changed, and so she's slowly starting to realize that. We'll see how it goes, but so far I'm mostly enjoying it. The main female character is bugging me a little bit, but I also don't know what he did in the past. So maybe she has every right to be this pissed. I just don't know yet. I am enjoying it. So I will check back in with you once I am a little bit further in these books. Okay, I forgot to add something about Winter Street. Something that really bothered me about this book. So we have the parents, Margaret and Kelly, they're divorced. They divorced when their children were rather young. Their youngest was 6 years old. And then you have their 3 children. You got Patrick, who's 38, Kevin, who's 36, and Ava, who is in her late 20s. I don't remember exactly how old she is, but she's in her late 20s. Kelly got divorced from Margaret. Kelly remarried Mitzi, and their son Bart is 19, and he just went off to war in Afghanistan. The 3, they call them the olders. The 3 olders who are still there, Patrick, Kevin, and Ava, there were multiple points in this book where they were acting so childish. So childish. I just wanted to be like, y'all are grown-ups. Figure it out. They literally still called their parents mommy and daddy. Everything. Well, daddy, this. Well, mommy, I'm so sad. Mommy, my boyfriend doesn't treat me right. Mommy. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, the 38-year-old who's married and has 3 kids of his own, yeah, he did something really dumb and fucked up, but he was bawling his eyes out, mommy, I don't know what to do, mommy this. And she's like, oh baby, I'll always love you no matter what. My love is unconditional. It was like, oh my gosh. So that part of the characters really, really bothered me. They were just so juvenile. They were acting like they were in their late teens, early 20s. When the oldest son was almost 40. I'm like, oh my gosh. So that was something that really did bother me about these characters. Like, they were supposed to be older and like mature adults with children, with families and children of their own, and they were still mommy and daddy. Well, anyway, that was that really bothered me. There were multiple times where I just like rolled my eyes and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're almost a 40-year-old man. Like, suck it up and take your fucking punishment because you did commit a crime. Like, you committed a crime. You knowingly committed a crime because you got too greedy. I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't have kids of my own. Anyway, okay, just had to throw that in there because I forgot, and it was something that really bothered me about the book. Okay guys, I've got an update. The final update after this very long reading vlog. 6 books. 6 books is a little much, I think. I was real excited to get through some holiday books, obviously. Let's go ahead and talk about The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score. So, I got 118 pages into this book before I decided to DNF it. I, again, don't like one of the main characters in this book. We are introduced to, I guess not introduced if you read the first book, but we have Kat, who's our main female character, and then Noah, is his name Noah? Yeah, Noah. Noah is the main male character, and he is the town manager of Mary, Connecticut, that gets hit really bad with a hurricane, and since it's such a small town, they aren't getting much help in repairing. Kat and her team on her Fixer Upper show have been to this town before a couple years ago to rebuild someone's house. Now she decided that since she still has friends in the town that she wanted to help rebuild the town and help clean it up and everything. Well, the city manager doesn't like this. He thinks that she's just out for ratings and trying to get a better name for her TV show or get more views for her TV show, and that she's just a celebrity, she's just a TV star, and she doesn't actually care about people and blah, blah, blah. So he wants nothing to do with her, and she doesn't want her or her crew in his town, even though his town really needs her. So after much debating and much back and forth and a lot of arguing, she finally tricks him into letting her and her team come to the town to fix it up. Well, throughout every single interaction that they have, he's mean to her. They arguing back and forth. I wouldn't even call it banter. It's just arguing. One second he'll be arguing with her like she's just a TV star. She doesn't care about anyone but herself. She's just out here to make more money, blah, blah, blah. And then the next second he's like, well, she's really attractive and I'm attracted to her and I just find myself wanting to be around her and blah, blah, blah. And then he's being mean to her. Or he creates these narratives in his head that aren't even true. Like, oh, there's a little girl that's crying and Kat is sitting next to her and comforting her. But she made the little girl cry just for ratings on her TV show. When there's literally no evidence of that. There's no camera crews around, nothing like that. Kat is sitting next to her, comforting her. There's literally a crying little girl, and he is making it out like she's the worst person in the world when she's just comforting this little girl. I couldn't deal with him anymore. I couldn't deal with him anymore because, like, who would ever fall in love with him after he has been so mean to her and treated her so badly? Like, he treats her so terribly and thinks she's the worst person ever. She's only out here for herself. Says mean stuff to her face. Like, you're only here for yourself, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what? In no world would I believe that she then all of a sudden falls for you. Okay, so you're attractive. So what? You've been a dick to her for literal weeks and weeks and weeks when there has been zero evidence of any of the accusations that he is making against her. Like, I couldn't deal with it anymore. And now I only got 100 pages in and I couldn't deal with him anymore. I'm like, he's not a believable character that she would fall in love with. I just decided not to read it anymore. So that's both of these books in this series that I didn't like and I DNF'd. I don't know, but I didn't care for it, so. Moving right along to A Cross Country Christmas. This was a super cute, Christmassy romance. It didn't have super cozy Christmassy vibes other than they were both driving from California to Indiana for Christmas. Along the way, the road trip featured a few Christmassy things, but not super Christmassy. They did like go see Santa and see like a Christmas parade or something, but that was really it. It was just our two main characters traveling from California to Indiana, and they had grown up together and have known each other for a really long time. What were their names? Lauren had a crush on Will basically her whole childhood, and there had been some things that had happened in their past that Will didn't remember. She obviously felt some kind of way about it, and I mean, obviously she was very upset about it. I get it, like, it's a valid reason to be upset and not want to really be around him anymore and not want to let yourself fall for him again, because she had such an infatuation with him, and then he treated her not great at all. And so, I mean, obviously she would not want to fall back into that habit. Like, oh, he's being nice to me right now, but why would I want to put myself through that again? So I can see her reservations and see why she was standoffish and not so nice at the beginning, because she didn't want to let herself fall back into old patterns. So I totally get that. But there were also other reasons why Will wanted to go on this long road trip and make a bunch of stops on the way, which she was not prepared for, but he had a good reason for it. And when she finally found out the reason, she understood and wished that he had told her before. But anyways, so as they're going along this journey, they start to warm up to each other more. They're back and forths, and you know, one second she's like, I can't believe, she's like super nice to him and they're being normal and being friendly, and then some small inconvenience happens or she remembers something from the past and she's like, whoa, why was I being so nice and friendly to him? I need to stop. I need to, you know, shut myself off and guard myself from him, basically. But eventually, obviously, they won each other over and fell in love. I did enjoy the story. It was a pretty short book. The audiobook was, I think, 7 hours or a little bit less than that. So really fast read, really cute. I enjoyed it. I will read the second book in the series. I think I ended up giving this one a 3.75 star. Yeah, I think that's what I ended up giving it. My phone is bricked right now and it's over yonder. So I'm just not even gonna go get it. But anyways, I really enjoyed that book as well. So thank you for sticking with me this long through this super long reading vlog. I know lots of Christmas books, but I'm just super excited about, you know, being in the festive season. If you've made it this far in the video, please put a Christmas tree down in the comments and give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss any future uploads, which I do have my January TBR video coming up next week. So subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss out on that. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.